to start by stretching our neck. So go ahead and drop your left ear to your left shoulder and make sure that your right shoulder is hanging heavy. So you can roll it around a couple of times. Feel the weight of your hand pulling the shoulder down. You should feel stretch sensation up the right side of your neck, and roll your chin to the other side. Chin comes to your chest and your right ear comes to your right shoulder. Your left hand and shoulder gets heavy. You feel stretch through the left side of your shoulder. And we're going to roll back the other way. This time flex your right hand, push it down to the floor. And switch one more time. Left hand flexes, pushes down to the floor. And we're going to stretch our neck in a backwards direction. And I want you to think not about getting the base of your skull to your back, but rather about pulling stretch between your collarbone or your sternum and your jaw. So go ahead and reach up through your jaw, root down through your chest. If you want to take hands and place them on your neck and chest and pull down, you'll get a nice additional stretch sensation out of that. And we'll take a few big circles. So drop your left ear to your left shoulder, find stretch through your throat, right ear to right shoulder, and drop your chin to your chest. Keep going. Switch direction. Right ear to right shoulder, stretch through your throat, left ear to left shoulder, and chin to your chest one more time. And we're going to warm up our shoulders. Start by just taking 8 rolls back. 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1, and forward. And teacups. So this was also in the flexibility for TK class, I believe. So this is hopefully familiar. I love this as a shoulder warm-up. I use it all the time in all sorts of ways. Bring your elbows into your side. Arms are parallel with each other and with the floor. You're holding teacups filled with very hot tea that you're trying not to spill as you bring it forward. Open. Over the top of your head. Fingertips point in towards each other as they come over the top of your head from back to front. And then you watch your teacups come to the front. You're going to spill here. That's okay. Back, do it again. Fingertips come forward. Arms come out to the side. Elbows bend and wrists flex. And then your pointer fingers wrap in towards each other so that they come towards, so that your fingers end up pointing to each other over the top of your head from back to front. And reverse it. Fingertips into your waistline. Pinkies wrap towards each other. Over the top of your head, fingertips point at each other. And roll back to where you started. Again, fingertips into your waistline. Pinky fingers wrap together in the front. Over the top of your head from front to back. And wrap forward to where you started. Bring your arms out to the side. Flex your hands hard. Push the heels of your palms away. And make tiny circles. So lots of what we're looking for in warm-up is a sensation of warmth. And so if you're finding that this becomes easy for you or you become accustomed to this and this stops creating warmth in your body, we need to change it up. One of the things you could do is just, if you are following along with this video, and if this is now the 60th time that you've done it, you can press pause in moments and do more of the thing than there is time for in the video. Keep reaching your fingertips back towards your face, heels of the palm pushing away, reverse the direction of your circle. You can also, as you get accustomed to what this warmth feels like in your body, find other exercises that you'd like to add in or substitute. I'm trying not to let my shoulders scrunch up towards my ears here, so I'm keeping them nice and long. My neck is nice and long. I have space between my neck and my shoulders. Push your arms forward. Your shoulders should be tired by now. This should be work. That's okay. They're not going to fall off. You're going to survive this. Push them back. I'm tired too. Flap them up. And Flappy Bird. Fly away. Drop it down. Shoulders should feel nice and warm at this point. We're going to come to all fours. So before we start here, optional is to grab a yoga block. Really anything that's firm enough that you can pinch, use it to help pinch your heel to your butt is going to work. A firm pillow. It's also just optional as a tool in general. So you can totally do this exercise just like this. However, I'm going to use the yoga block. I'm going to set it on its like medium setting, where it's a challenge for me to keep tension between my heel and the block and my butt. I'm going to pull my belly button to my spine so that I make a nice flat back. You could again imagine a hot cup of tea here now on your low back if you wanted. And you're going to lift your knee up and out into your armpit and under. I've let my tea spill here and I'm fine with it. It's okay to round your back here. What I don't want people to do is arch like this. We're trying to turn on all of the muscles that stabilize your hip in an open hip position and an externally rotated position. If you have questions about those muscles, you can visit the external rotation video and the hip opening video. So again, I've got my heel squeezed to the block, to my butt, keeping my low back flat. I lift my leg as high as I can. I open my leg as high as I can, and I pull it into my armpit and back. Switch sides. Pull your belly button into your spine, flatten your back. Put some push into your hands. Push the floor away a little bit. Lift your back knee. Only from the upper hamstring and lower glute. I should feel a lot of work at the very top of my leg, just underneath my butt. I shouldn't feel my back arching. I'm going to open my knee and pull it to my armpit. Wrap it under. Reset once more. Lift the leg. Open the knee. Pull the knee in towards the armpit. Tuck. And release. Come back to all fours and do a few cat-cows. So this is our cow belly, right? I have udders. And this is my scaredy cat back. And I move between the two. If you want to inhale in this moment and exhale as you push into this cat back. It might be nice to connect this movement to your breath. Now stay here in your cat back and pull yourself into cow from the hips. And pull yourself into cat from the chin. And then feel all of the muscles in your back body contract to pull the base of your skull towards the small of your back. And feel all of the muscles in your front body contract to pull you into a super hard crunch. Core muscles are engaged. You're pushing the ground away. And we'll twist. First thing we'll do is you'll take one hand, you'll put it at the back of your neck. You're going to wrap and try to touch your elbow to your wrist. And open by pushing the floor away. Looking up over that elbow. I'm trying really hard to stack my chest on top of my shoulder. So I'm not opening just from here. I'm opening from here and back. Let's do that 3 more times. and switch. Two more times. Good, come on to your side for hip flossing. You'll bring your knee in towards your shoulder. You're going to grab the instep of your foot. Pull your knee in towards your shoulder. Straighten the leg. Bend the knee again so that this time it passes to the inside of the arm and you can pull the hip open. Close the hip. Bend the knee. Straighten it just enough that you can pass the leg to the back of the arm and then pull in towards your shoulder. A couple more times. Bend, pull open, close the hip, straighten the leg, switch the knee, pull. And let's switch sides. Check in with how this feels to you today. This path is one, this like path of moving the hip is one that shows up often in our rope practice, especially if we're doing any sort of transitional suspension. And it's good at this moment to just have a chance to check on whether or not your body's feeling extra juicy or extra tight today. Wherever your body is fine. But use that knowledge to be able to be gentle with yourself and your expectations of yourself as you go into this rope session. We're going to come to a lunge. I'm here on my right side. I'm taking a minute in my lunge to just try to feel the stretch of my hip flexors, so my psoas muscle, my quad. This is again in your hip opening video. We talk a lot about this position. My back glute is squeezed and my hips are square. My back hip point is wrapping towards my forward heel. My forward hip crease is pulling into my body. I'm going to push to a straight leg. And I can either do this with a straight leg or with a soft bend in my knee, depending on if I feel any pain in the back of my knee here. I'm going to just do some small cat-cow type of movements from the pelvis. The goal being that I'm waking up the forward leg hamstring. It's easy to do this in a way that doesn't really talk to the front leg. So make sure that you're feeling most of this pelvic rocking as something that's talking to the front leg. Go ahead and switch sides. You lunge on your left. Square up. One of the things I like to say to help people find square is that I imagine that if there was a mirror on this side of me, I wouldn't see much of my butt, but rather mostly my profile. So imagine a mirror on either side of you and twist, twist, twist until what the mirror sees is the profile of your body rather than most of your pelvis or most of your butt. Push to straight. Keep the leg straight or put a soft bend in the knee and rock the pelvis. Back and forth. And we'll come up to standing and finish with a full forward fold. What I want you to think about here is that as your chin comes to your chest, and with every movement you make, you're pulling space into your back body. You're growing in your back body. So my chin comes to my chest and the back of my neck gets big. And as my chin continues to wrap and my sternum moves in, the space between my shoulder blades expands. And my solar plexus moves in and my bra strap area gets big and puffy. As my belly button pulls to my spine, the small of my back gets really rounded and I find as much curvature of my spine as I can before I hinge at the hips and hang out in my forward fold. And we'll soften our knees, tuck our tail, come back up the same way we went in. And you could do that a few more times if you'd like.